What do you make of this next story? An investigation has begun into a claim that something strange came out of the skies and landed in the Welsh village of Broadhaven near Haverfordwest. Whatever it was spotted 3 times by children from the local school. And now their reports are being investigated by the British Unidentified Flying Objects Research Association. Now, the children say the object had a large dome, it was cigar-shaped and was silver in colour. Well, to find out more, I've just been on the phone to their headmaster, Mr. Llewellyn.
And did they all see the same thing, do you think?
There's a common core of similarity between all their descriptions. I got them to draw and to write what they saw.
And do you believe it?
I believe that they saw something which is not common in the environment in which they saw it, but whether they've interpreted correctly, I wouldn't know.
February the 4th, 1977 should have been a normal, wintry day for pupils at Broadhaven Primary School. However, what they experienced that day instead hurled them and their unassuming community into the worldwide limelight, changing many of their lives forever. It was the day that 14 children, aged just 10 years old, found themselves at the centre of a UFO sighting case, which remains one of the UK's most fascinating cases. One of those boys is Davies, who is now in his 50s and has spent more than 4 decades on a quest for answers. Speaking at a BBC interview, Dave outlined exactly what happened that day. He said, "During the day, children had come in from playtime, saying they had seen a weird object flying around the perimeter of the school.
The spaceship, it looked a cigar shape with a dome on it. And it had a yellowy, orange to red light on the top of it.
How clearly did you see it?
Well, I couldn't see its face because it was too far away.
Now, you say you saw a man as well, did you?
Yes.
And what about him?
Well, he was too far away to be seen as well.
My friend Philip here was trying to find a way over the stream, and I was looking at the bushes up the top of the trees. And then suddenly this silver cigar-shaped object seemed to pop up from behind the bushes and trying to take off, then it disappeared again.
Are you sure it wasn't perhaps just a helicopter or an aircraft from the airfield near here?
A helicopter could land there, but that's private property over there. And if they landed there, they could be prosecuted. And with an aircraft, the only thing that could get in there was a Harrier.
Were you frightened at the time?
Yes.
Why?
I thought there would be a whole arm inside there or something.
The headmaster thought the children were just messing around, so initially he didn't actually go and have a look. However, at the end of the day, the final bell went and he thought he'd investigate for himself. So he went to the top perimeter of the school and the object appeared from behind some trees. He stated that it was about 50 feet long and about the size of a bus with fluorescent lights. Dave described the object as having a central dome on top, covering the middle third with a red pulsating light on top. Other children reported seeing tall, silver alien-like creatures. Dave said, "I felt this uncontrollable urge to run away from what I was seeing. I took one glance behind as I was running away to see it disappearing down behind the trees. There was no fear at all. It was just pure wonder and amazement. It was something I had always thought of as science fiction fantasy, and all of a sudden I was being confronted with it for real." Many other children stood by and watched the object over a prolonged period of time. Following their bizarre day, Dave and the other kids went back home to their parents and told them what they had seen. By the following Monday, word had got out and the media picked up on the story. Dave explained, "So of course, as soon as we got into school, the headmaster approached us, isolated the children who had seen the object and made us draw pictures of what we saw and also a written account. Strikingly, the accounts were so similar that there was this resignation that hit the headmaster that what they had seen was actually a UFO. Dave said it wasn't long before the children were in newspapers and on television screens across the world. Although in many ways it was an incredible experience, Dave said it's had its downsides. He said, "It affected me at secondary school for the next 5 years. I was the kid who had seen the spaceship, so it made me the target of bullies. I was systematically bullied for about 5 years, but I wasn't going to say I was lying when I was telling the truth, and to this day, Dave's story has not changed. He is still sure of what he saw that day. Emlyn Williams from Swansea UFO Network, which he runs with colleagues Mike Morder and Steve Drewson, said that there had been several alternative suggestions given for what the boys saw in 1977. However, he said many of them didn't quite add up. There were slight differences in what the kids drew, but they all drew a circular shape with a dome on the top. The headmaster mentioned that the students involved were not mischievous at all, and would not make these sort of things up in fear of being in trouble. So, what do you think happened? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.